They'll see you playing that fullback, knocking those players out of the way. And that, I believe I could have run behind you. Martin, I can remember when we came to Summer and you playing fullback up there. And I saw you in the weight room and watched you work out in the weight room. And you could pick up, you could stand up and pick up the whole weight room. I really appreciate it, and I learned that since back. Biggest mistake we ever made.
The Martin Houston Show with national championship winning fullback Martin Houston, giving you 1 hour of intense, hard-hitting analysis from an insider's perspective. It's time for the Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports, Tide 100.9, and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Good morning. Welcome into the Martin Houston Show on Tide 100.9 on your radio dial. The Martin Houston Show can also be seen on Facebook at Martin Houston Live, YouTube, Martin Houston Live, at Martin Houston 35 on Twitter, at Tide 109 on Facebook, and on X's and O's on Facebook as well. As it's a Thursday morning, we're live and local and ready to get things going. I want to invite you to get in on the conversation at 205-342-9904, 205-342-9904. The Taco Casa hotline is open for business. And before I move beyond that, I want to thank Taco Casa for their partnership over the years. As it happens with sponsors and different things, some come, some go, some stay, some leave. And Taco Casa has been with me since the beginning, but this will be their last day as a part of the Martin Houston Show. And we'll have a new hotline on tomorrow. But I definitely want to thank those guys for the years of partnership and what they've meant to the Martin Houston Show. Praying nothing but blessings and many more days and years of success. So that's Taco Casa. Thank you very much for being a part of the Martin Houston Show. And as we move forward, we'll continue to bring in new sponsors. And if you're listening out there and you own a business, new opportunities for you to get in on the program and partner with the Martin Houston Show. If you're interested, Martin at martinhouston.org is where you can send that email, and then we'll follow up from there. Anyway, remember this: trust in the Lord always, lean not in your own understanding, all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. Roll Tide, everybody. Good morning, X. How you doing, sir?
Good morning. I'm doing well this morning. How are you?
Doing well. Good morning, Joe. So get ready to get things rolling.
Yeah, ready to get it fired up. Martin, I know Ryan Fowler and the gang was over at Pro Day yesterday. What did you hear from the guys?
I haven't heard a lot. It seems like there was some guys that did some things to help themselves. I thought some of the players' responses themselves, especially Evan Mathis, was a kind of an interesting response when he was asked about, himself and what's coming. He was kind of like, I don't know. He said, I'll find out on draft day. So I guess that's the best way to stay even keeled. Well, I was going to ask you guys, what have you guys had from your biggest takeaway so far?
I was really impressed with two guys. Daniel Wright, his explosiveness, his speed. He looked really well in the drills from the little bit that I got to watch and see from some of the guys, such as Mason, Ryan, and Jacob covering it. And then Brian Ray looking like that athletic phenom that we thought we were going to get, running a 4.8 40 and looking very fluid and moving well throughout the drill.
I'm a first-time home buyer, and I'm using Realtor.com.
All you got to do is go to Realtor.com or download the app.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Martin. Mason actually was pretty impressed with Slade in his 40 time, and he was impressed with Daniel Wright getting out there looking good. I know he didn't get to compete at the NFL Combine, but I think it was just an all around good day. Coach Saban talking to the media about 10 minutes or so. He seemed like he was in an upbeat mood, and the players were pretty open and candid. Martin, did you hear what Evan Neal eats for his cheat meal?
No, I saw the article, but I've not read it. So,
Oh man, Neil and Ryan Fowler are one and the same. Big time fans of the Lord's Chicken. Evan Neal eating and said he's a Chick-fil-A fan. And he chose that for his cheat meal. Well, what you and I are eating for our regular meals.
that's his cheat meal. Okay, wow.
Yeah,
Hey, when you have that much body to spread out, I guess you can probably eat whatever you want. Uh, so it's very very interesting. Evan Neal also making a little noise with who he's seen at practice, right at tackle. So we'll get to that conversation as well as Evan Neal uh, throwing out a couple names that he's seen working at tackle. But yeah, I'll get back to Fedarian Mathis. Um, have you heard him and LeBron Ray? Even though Fedarian played more with the stats, statistics, etc., do you think LeBron Ray's athleticism, deal or no deal, is enough to overcome, his injuries?
Uh, if a team can fall in love with him and he can get through medical, I definitely see him being a late round pick who has an extremely high upside, because if he stays healthy, we don't know what this guy can be. You're talking, I mean, he was a 5-star coming out of high school for a reason. He was a projected starter once you saw some of these older guys leave for a reason. It's just that the injury bug hit him, couldn't shake it. So if he can overcome that and the team falls in love with him, this is definitely one of these guys that you can see ended up being a 6-round pick that goes on to have a 10-year career.
I could see that. Uh, uh, Joe, any thoughts on him? I agree. I think the guy, athletic wise, especially with his body build and type and the way the NFL plays today, I think he could be a guy, even if he gets drafted late, could be one of those long term career guys.
yeah, absolutely. He had a lot of hard luck when he was at Alabama, but all it takes is one team to say that you're a fit. And I think highly of LeBron Ray. I'm sure that Coach Saban and the staff have probably given glowing reports off the field. I've never heard anything bad about him off the field. It's just been bad luck.
Yeah. Hey, when you're talking about Mason and Slate Bolden, now I didn't see his 40 time. I have not. Did he improve, or I saw
Yeah,
some of his drills. I saw the drills, and he looked quick. I saw some of the catches. I mean, he made that one catch on the, route. Just the route was pretty, and he had to lay out for the catch. And I mean, he did everything right on that one. He as he ran the route, he ran down the field, head, looking straight ahead, made a quick move to the inside, knowing that the ball was going to be thrown to the outside, trusted that the quarterback was going to throw it where we're supposed to, looked up at the last minute, laid out, and made a great catch. Things like that are things that the scouts will see and go, okay, maybe this guy can do it and play in that quick space. Um, and what were you about to say, X?
yeah, he ran a 4.54. So about a complete tenth of a second off of his 40 time from the combine. So that was impressive to me. I wasn't sure if he was going to be able to improve it, but seeing that jump ended up being a positive in my eyes.
All right. Well, I'm going to come back to that difference in time, but we got a caller, so let's go to Curtis Lewis, you're in with the Martin Houston Show. What's on your mind, sir?
Hey, Martin, I believe it's going to be time to put your Avenger cape on today.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, man. You just don't know. I got a Jalen Moody coming up here in a minute.
Oh, not Jalen Moody. All right, well, I like him. He's a good player. He's not bad. LeBron Ray, his medal is going to knock him in the dirt. It's going to keep him in the dirt. No matter how fast the race car is, if it's up on blocks every time you see it, you can't win anything with that. So it's gonna keep him in the dirt. I don't believe the Josh Jobe that's gonna keep him in the dirt. That's gonna keep what's the other little gentleman that we haven't stayed on the injury list? Chris Allen. I think that medicals is really gonna kill them. I think Slade Bolden is going to kill himself because he's still caliber slow. So, he improved his time, but he's still slow. So his position, that's not going to do him any favors.
So you think Wilbur and Julian Edelman were blazers?
Yeah, they were faster than Slade Bolden.
They were quick. They were not fast.
Oh no, Slade ain't quick. Slade is a block of ice. That's it. And he doesn't have great hands. Those guys got great hands. Slade don't have great hands. All thing Slade got is Nick Saban. That is it.
Okay. Hey, Curtis.
Will not be involved in this.
Curtis, you said all he has is Nick Saban. My question to you, is that enough to get him drafted in the 6th round?
In the 6th, no. But in the 7th, yes.
Okay.
I think if he goes, it'll be 7. Otherwise, and I don't think the 7th round will do him more favors. I think it'd be better for him to be a free agent so he can go somewhere he could possibly earn a roster spot. Because if he gets drafted by somebody in the 7th round, then you're really going to be up against the wall then. So
he is drafted by the New England Patriots.
Draft him. They ain't got no use for Slade Bolden. They don't have anybody. You can go out and get a water boy anywhere.
Oh wow!
So, they're not going to draft Slade Bolden. And for some reason, people think that if you're small, white, and slow, you're going to be a great slot receiver in New England, and that is not the case.
History says otherwise.
No, Edelman played quarterback in college. And he's great hands. Wes Welker, oh my goodness. Wes Welker was a heck of a guy. Generational slot receiver. I'm going to kill him with the fact that he stayed knocked out.
But you know Edelman and Bolden were the same player coming out of high school. Edelman just went. That was back to my point, Curtis. Would Bolden have been better served if he had gone somewhere else? And like Edelman would have probably not played as much at Alabama as Bolden did, but because he was a quarterback, and I don't know what his 40. I have no idea what his 40 time, and that's why I've said Bolden had to get a better 40 time yesterday, and he did. And then, but he has to in those drills, Curtis. Here's the thing: in those drills, though. Bolden looked like he has great hands and great route running. And
you don't have 6-foot DB about to knock his head off.
But guess what?
Julian Edelman ran a 4.52.
Is that faster than Slade?
Does
not matter. They're going by the measure. And Slade is not going to get you that. And doesn't matter again. You talking about during a time when Edelman played and Welker played. Football is entirely different. So at that point in time, even the players weren't as fast as that.
Edelman retired last year.
You got defensive. I'm talking about when he came into the league. Not when he retired, when he came into the league. And you got defensive linemen faster than Slade Bolden at this point. Or just as fast as Slade Bolden. So what good is that? Yeah, you got a slot receiver who cannot get to the sideline before you get knocked out, let alone be able to make a break on a DB who's probably going to be able to eat his lunch all day long, like he was at McDonald's.
Well, hey, Curtis, we're gonna have fun with Slade Bolden. Slade Bolden may be the most anticipated draft choice that we have this offseason I can't wait to have this conversation post draft. And then, of course, getting drafted is just the start. You got to make the team, of course. And that's what we're talking about. Can Slade Bolden make an NFL team? And I think he can, because I think he is good enough at wide receiver. I don't think now I'm not going to put him in that position where you putting Kupp and Edelman, because I've not seen enough to say that he's going to be that good. But I didn't see anything about those guys when they came out either, but I didn't know them. I had not watched them when they came out. But what I will say is Slade in his return game and all of that will become valuable to an NFL team, because he does have good hands when it comes to catching punts, and he'll run down and tackle people, and he'll block, and he'll do all those things you want from a guy who is a marginal player, if that makes sense. He fortunately for him, he got to do other things other than just play wide receiver. If he was just trying to make the league as a wide receiver, I would probably be more inclined to say he has a huge uphill battle. But because he brings other things to the table, Curtis, I think we may see Slade Bolden at some capacity on an NFL roster, maybe his first year or so of practice squad, but eventually you'll see Slade Bolden play in the league.
I think Slade Bolden is better if he practiced one freshie. Would you like fries with that shape? It's pretty much over for football. Now, I'm going to say the Stallions might need him. The Stallions could probably use a receiver.
Oh, wow.
Not a fast receiver, but they could probably use him. But Slade Bolden ain't going to the NFL and play no more. He's not going to play any role in the NFL. Yes, he could come down on kicks. But good gracious, are you going to have Slade Bolden as your gunner? He wasn't even a gunner at Alabama. Why would you have him as a gunner in the NFL? He can't run anybody down at
I wasn't talking about covering. I'm talking about more of the blocking and the receiver on punt and kickoff return game. I don't know anything about his physicalities and his coverage.
Did he do that at Alabama?
Yeah, he was a return guy at Alabama.
Yeah, he got back there and caught some return balls, but when did we see Slade actually do anything as a returner for Alabama?
But hey, go back and watch the NFL. They don't have returners pretty much anymore. Most of the guys in the NFL now, they just want a guy who can make sure they catch the ball because of the way the rules have changed.
Yeah, because they just want to buy the game, but by the same token, though, you could probably get Evan Neal to stand back there and catch a ball.
You might.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Curtis, I'm gonna let you go, man. You're having way too much fun on Slade this morning. Have a good one. All right. Thanks. Coming back on the other side, we'll continue this conversation about Pro Day. If you have any thoughts you want to get in on the conversation, 205-342-9904. The Taco Casa hotline is open for business.
Free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Work is a part of all of us. Working drives us to push beyond what we thought was imaginable and allows us to come together again for the things that really matter. That's why the Alabama Department of Labor and the Alabama Career Center system is here to help you discover bigger opportunities than ever before. Visit your local career center or alabamaworks.alabama.gov. Funding provided by the USDOL, PTA, and Federal WIO, the Equal Opportunity Employer Program. Auxiliary aids and services available upon request. Brought to you by the station and the Alabama Broadcasters Association.
There's nothing like hearing the songs you love on local radio, with no subscriptions and no monthly fees. But there's a new bill in Congress that could stop the music. If passed, this bill would tax your local radio station simply to play the music you love. Text LOCAL to 52886 and ask Congress to support local radio stations. Help us keep you connected to the music, local news, weather, and traffic that you need each day. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Are you receiving unemployment? Your benefits could be at risk. Here's how you can protect yourself and your benefits. Never respond to mail notifying you of a false claim in your name. Never answer a text message asking you to verify your account. And only respond to official Alabama Department of Labor's social media pages. Report fraud at labor.alabama.gov/fraud. Brought to you by the Alabama Department of Labor, ABA, and the station. The Alabama Department of Labor is an equal opportunity employer program. Auxiliary aids and services available upon request to individuals with disabilities. Dial 711 for TTY accessibility.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
Sky becoming partially sunny today. Tuscaloosa's high 68. Tonight clear with the low at 39. Tomorrow lots of sunshine, the high 67. And the weekend looks good. A sunny sky Saturday and Sunday. The high Saturday 72, the high Sunday 74. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 58 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
Scott Smith and Sophomart Design, doing business for 17 plus years, specializing in graphic design services, commercial printing, promotional products, advertising specialties, and so much more. Basically, any and everything you would need to advertise, promote, and grow your business. Through strong partnerships, strong customer service, and creative ideas, they'll help you market and grow your business. Give Scott a call at 205-292-4680 or email scottis@comcast.net and visit them online at sophmartdesign.com.
Interact with the Martin Houston Show by calling us at 205-342-9904 or tuning into the Martin Houston Show on Facebook.
Well, Jalen has certainly been a guy that's made a lot of positive contributions to the team in a lot of ways. Been a great special teams player for us, has always accepted his role, being a really, really solid backup player who, when he's played, he's been able to play very well. But I also think that, when guys have been in that role, they have to understand what goes with being a starter. You have to challenge yourself to be ready and prepared to play with great consistency and performance. And that's something that, he certainly, and we certainly want him to come out of the spring and prove to himself and to everybody else that he's very capable of doing that. All right. Thank you.
That's Coach Nick Saban talking about Jalen Moody. I just wonder, when I heard that, it sounded like, I'll ask you guys what did y'all hear out of that in just a moment. But we got Robert from Mobile that wants to join the conversation. Robert, you're in with the Martin Houston Show with X's and O's. Xavier Houston, what's on your mind, sir?
Hey, guys.
Hey, now.
How you doing?
I'm good. Hey, man. I guess Jalen Hurts is probably the last player to have split Alabama fans at this end of different opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to is he good or is he not? Because Playbook does just enough to be pretty good, to be good, maybe even really good, but he's not. He doesn't have the talent that we want to call him, great. And that's kind of the is he good enough for NFL or is he not? Is he does a lot of things good, but nothing really great. And that's kind of where he is.
Right. So what do you think?
I think he checks.
Deal or no deal? Go ahead, Xavier.
My bad. I think he checks enough of the boxes to be able to make an NFL team. Will he be a perennial Pro Bowler? Probably not, unless he just finds himself in a perfect situation. But he checks enough of the boxes to have a decent career in the NFL as a slot receiver, as that third or fourth option, or return guy.
You usually need a really good quarterback to make a slot receiver like Slade Bolden work. A quarterback that can hit enough of the other people, the guys, to where you kind of lose them in the shuffle, the way Brady used to do, the way Aaron Rodgers can do. Maybe Kansas City quarterback can make him work. Not certain of that, but if he ends up on a team with a mediocre or average quarterback, I don't think that's the quarterback to make it work.
Let me ask you guys a question. Is Slade Bolden as good as Garrett Dieter?
I think he's
Well,
I think he's as good, if not just a tad bit better, because he's more versatile.
And Dieter's been in the league for how long?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He still plays with Kansas City.
Wow.
But he also became best friends with Mahomes, so that also helps you stick around.
Well, I mean.
But he's been in the league since 2017.
So, well, Slade Bolden, go whoever drafts you, take him out to dinner. The quarterback.
Yeah, and I can understand encouragement. It's a bit hard to say, not at all. Because I was in the camp that Jalen Hurts wouldn't make the NFL team for a while. So I didn't think he'd ever make the NFL team. Look like, oh, he did. So you definitely can't say can't make one.
Well,
when they've been helping him, more likely he'll probably make one. Is how long he'll stay on there and do something different.
Yeah, well, that Jalen Hurts you said, I think I saw an article that said that the Eagles can't be any more excited about Jalen Hurts. So not only I mean, people are saying Jalen would even make a team. I mean, would even make it. Said he'd never be a quarterback in the NFL, and the guy started.
And he's the youngest quarterback in Eagles history to take the team to the playoffs.
So.
Yeah, I'll go to the camp of, okay, what was he doing in Alabama? And I always looked at Blake Sims. Hey, you look at Blake Sims' numbers and stats, and he did better, and he didn't make the NFL. You look at Jay Coker's stats at Alabama. Hey, he actually did better, and he didn't make the NFL. So why would Jalen Hurts make the NFL and only go to Oklahoma, which was a bad thing for Alabama? Okay, yeah, Oklahoma could make him an NFL quarterback. We could. Good thing Tua came along, and then after him, Mac Jones, so the reputation wouldn't be too good for Alabama right now.
Well, I think Jalen got a lot better through his junior year at Alabama with Dan Enos having a quarterback coach only who wasn't also doing time as the offensive coordinator, and you saw a lot of growth through Jalen that year, even though he was the backup, and then Oklahoma, of course, solidified it.
Yep.
And I guess that was a lesson Nick Saban learned. But I think he'll make the team, and who knows if the skills improve, maybe he can turn into that. It does happen.
Cooper Kupp went from a good receiver to an elite receiver with time and a new quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean,
great example of that, Tom Brady. Just go to the stratosphere after college. It can't happen.
Yep, absolutely. I don't think he's gonna be next Tom Brady though. I ain't going there now. All right, Robert, you got anything else before we let you go?
No, guys. I'll catch you later.
All right, thanks, Robert. Appreciate that. All right, hey, coming back on the other side, we'll have a little conversation with recruiting with Hank South, 247 Sports, Bama Online Recruiting. That conversation up next right here on the Martin Houston Show. If you have a question for Hank or for Xavier or myself, please feel free to give us a call, 205-342-9904, or post that question in chat. Remember, Alabama won, man, last day for the home equity line of credit promotion. So if you need to slow down the impact of interest rates and get that home equity line of credit, you need to go get that done today. You can go to alabama1.org and get that prime rates as low as prime minus 0.25, local servicing, no origination fee or closing costs, up to 100% financing. Good news is the credit card balance transfer promotion has been extended. So you can still take advantage of that past today. Zero balance transfer fees, zero annual fees, zero APR for 6 months, cash back rewards. That's alabama1.org, Alabama One together.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
From the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center, a significant amount of storm damage being reported from last night, and of course more will come in with sunrise. So watch out for debris on the roadways this morning, and if you see conditions, just give me a call. This is it, the last day of the month in clearance at Townsend Nissan, where selection and savings go hand in hand. I'm Captain Ray.
Hello, this is Martin Houston with the Martin Houston Show, and I want to tell you about one of our great sponsors, Overflow Express Wash. Their mission is to provide great customer service with a showroom clean car and an exceptional customer service experience. They have the basic car wash that starts at $7, but you need to check out the premium wash packages, which start as low as $12 and go up to $20. They also have a membership wash club that you can get for starting at $23.99, going up to $39.99. In other words, just double the regular premium package, drop a penny, and you can be one of the great members of Overflow Express Wash. My family and I keep our cars looking good inside and out by using Overflow Express Wash. They're located on Skyland Boulevard, right next door to Alabama 1, or you can find them online at overflowexpresswash.com. Andy Phillips and his team look forward to making you a part of their team.
Ask big. Have you seen our artisan-created diamonds? If you've been in a room with one, you can't miss it.
Tom Osmond from Fincher and Osmond.
It's a diamond like I've never seen.
And he's seen a lot of diamonds.
Ask big.
At Fincher and Osmond, you can put artisan-created diamonds side by side with mined diamonds. When you see it,
more importantly, when she sees it,
FincherandOsmond.com.
McFarland Boulevard between Edgar's and Local Roots.
This is a metaphor for your business's journey. Sometimes it feels like the course keeps changing right before your eyes. And in order to maneuver it, you need an expert by your side. That's what Dell Technologies advisors do. They have the Windows PC and tech solutions you need to help you get out in front and stay ahead of the game. Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL. A start to a simpler experience with Windows 11 Pro.
Nick Saban calls it the process. John Maxwell said that everything rises and falls on it. And Coach Wooden said it's what you learn after you think you know it all that makes the difference. What am I talking about? Leadership and personal development. Is your organization, your school, your church, your family, are they receiving the proper level of leadership development and personal development? If not, the Empowerment Center for Leadership and Mentoring can help you with that. We have our Pep Talks, which is a 1 to 1.5 hour lunch and learn, which we can customize to meet your needs, or we have some topics that we present that we know can help your organization. And if you're looking for one-on-one mentoring and coaching, we can also assist you with that. Visit peptalks35.com. That's peptalks35.com, or send an email to martin@martinhouston.org. That's the Empowerment Center for Leadership and Mentoring.
Welcome back to the Martin Houston Show, the sound of Bama sports. Your show, your team, on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
You got Adam Holt and you got Scott right now.
You're back in with the Martin Houston Show on this beautiful morning. Yes, it's coming off of some storms and things last night, but hey, we're here and breath in our body, and so that's a good thing. So glad to have you with us. Glad to have Hank South 247 Sports on with us with X's and O's Sports. Good morning, Hank. How you doing, sir?
Hey, good morning, Mark. I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Glad to have you back with us. I will start the conversation off, Hank, by simply asking you the question: what's up with the quarterback race? Texas A&M. You've been saying watch him. The commit. He may decommit. Archie Manning making news. I'm going to revisit Tuscaloosa. So what's the inside scoop on that?
Yeah, it's kind of boiled down to those two, Arch Manning and Eli Holstein. Obviously, there's still some other guys out there that are in the mix, but the two names we're talking about most are the two guys from Louisiana, Arch Manning, the number one player in the country, and Eli Holstein, I think he's top 60 or top 100 player in the country. I think he's like number 5 or 6 quarterback overall. Tremendous talent. But, yeah, so those are the two guys. You know, we saw Nico Iamoliva commit to Tennessee a couple weeks back, kind of took him out of the race. Arch Manning, he's been pretty active as of late. He finally got his spring visit going. He went to Georgia a couple weeks back, was at Texas last weekend, and then expected back at Alabama this upcoming weekend. So that's obviously a big visit we're going to be tracking. And then Eli Holstein was back at Alabama last weekend, following a visit he took on March 5th. So that's 2 visits in a span of about 3 weeks to Alabama for Eli Holstein. Obviously, he's decommitted from Texas A&M now. You know, it looks like Bama's trending up there. He's still setting up some other visits. You know, Florida came in and offered him. Ohio State's talking to him. A bunch of other schools, but Bama seems like they have a pretty good shot there. And then, you know, with Arch Manning, we'll see, though. It kind of depends on who you ask. Some people think Georgia leads. Some people think Texas leads. I know Bama was seemingly trending. I feel like it changes every week with him, but you know, we'll see what this visit does this upcoming weekend. You know, kind of where he's at with the process, when he wants to make a decision. And that, but yeah, those are kind of the 2 names to watch. You know, I lean Holstein a little bit more just because you know, it just seems kind of more clear cut that he's kind of trending to Bama at this point. But you know, obviously, Arch Manning is still very heavily in play and has that visit upcoming this weekend. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
Is it possible that both of those guys end up in Tuscaloosa?
I mean, yes, I guess, but you know, I don't think that's going to happen. I think both of them are going to go to you know, another school. I think it's more possible to see one of those guys and then potentially maybe a developmental guy or a guy that, you know, takes a couple of years to you know, or you know, maybe one of those guys we see like as a late offer in the cycle if there is going to be a second quarterback in the class. So, you know, potentially, but, you know, I think those guys are looking for separate spot.
All right. Let's bring in Pat. Pat, you're in with Hank South, 247 Sports, and X's O Sports. What's on your mind, sir?
Good morning. I am a little disturbed about what I read about Pro Day and Bryce Young throwing at Pro Day. Is it possible that Bryce skips this year? I mean, he's already done most everything that he needs to do in order to be a top 5 pick, and that he has nearly $1 million name, image, and likeness deal. He'll get a lot of money from being a Heisman Trophy winner. Blah blah blah. Anybody in their right mind as an agent would be more than happy to pay any of his expenses over the next year while he trains for the NFL. What do you think, Hank?
I don't think that probably crossed his mind at all, outside of just, you know, a thought. You know, I think he's pretty hungry to get back and try to, you know, get a national title. You know, especially after how last season ended. You know, I don't know. That seems even crazy to talk about, in my opinion. I think
why did he? Yeah, my question is, why did he throw at Pro Day?
That's what happens a lot of times, Pat.
I did it at Ohio State. You know, I think, you know, they're just kind of giving a little sample.
Hank, let me ask Pat a question. Pat, let me ask you, why would he not throw at Pro Day if he's confident?
Okay.
I mean, think about this. The scenario you just mentioned. Bryce Young throws at Pro Day and was impressive. So every scout that was there now have seen him win a Heisman and already got a combine look at him. They saw him throw every route yesterday because that's what they do in Pro Day. They make them do all the routes from a quarterback standpoint. They make the receivers run all the route. So he threw every route. There's not a route that they'll run in the pros that he didn't show them he couldn't throw yesterday. Your scenario, what if there's a Bryce Young that pops up this year while Bryce Young is sitting in training?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you, he's impressive, but he's also 20. And a 20-year-old quarterback that takes a year off, I would be scared to take him. I would still take him with his talent, but I don't know that I would put him up there that high. If I think he would hurt himself, because two things: he would give other quarterbacks an opportunity to catch someone else's eye, and he would also have taken a year off. I think he, yeah. So, but anyway,
Okay, I get you.
Yeah.
Okay, good deal. I hope. I sure do hope I'm wrong.
All right, thanks, Pat.
Y'all have a blessed day.
You too, Pat. Thanks, Pat. Go ahead, X.
Yeah. I mean, that's something schools do when they don't have a quarterback eligible for the draft. The starter, or sometimes a starter, or sometimes a backup will come in and throw at pro day. So it's nothing out of the norm. But hey, Tony Mitchell released his top 5 earlier this week. Georgia, Alabama. I'm drawing blanks, but how does Alabama still sit with him currently?
Yeah, I still think them is in a good spot there. There's been a bunch of, talk, and I'm sure, it's message boards chatter and fans talking, maybe Bama's not pushing for Tony Mitchell. Maybe he's not a guy, maybe he's a guy they're waiting on, not a take at this point, another green light. And it's kind of silly at this point to say that, but I think Bama still has a good shot there, and he's the kid. He's enjoying the process. You look back at his recruitment 2 years ago. He committed to Tennessee real early. Decommitted a couple years ago, I think ever since then Bama's been trending. But at the same time, I think there's some I can't think of the word, but he's having fun with it. There's been some buzz about LSU. They're not in the top 5 now, but I know like a couple weeks ago Texas A&M was the school to watch, and past weekend Florida is the school that's coming up, or is the leader, and it just goes back and forth. But I think the one common theme there is Alabama. I do think in the end that's it's kind of like a situation with Jeremiah Alexander. It was why wasn't he committed? Was it another school? Was it Clemson? Was it Georgia that was going to get him? And then come summertime, he commits to Alabama. So I think Bama still has a good shot there. Not discounting the other schools in the mix. He is from Florida, so the Gators are a school to watch for him. But I think when it comes down to it, I think Bama has that edge there. I think they have the inside track. He's not saying that, but I think that's kind of the team to beat. He recognizes what Nick Saban can do with defensive backs, and obviously it's the local school, and he's got plenty of friends there as well.
Yeah. So do you pretty much still see it being, wherever he goes, Peter Woods goes. Wherever Peter Woods goes, he goes.
I think that's maybe a factor they're talking about. I don't think I don't think they're deeming themselves a package deal. But I'm sure it helps. I think Peter Woods. I'm going to be very surprised if he doesn't end up in Bama's class. I wouldn't call Tony Mitchell a heavy lead. I think if I was picking kids I think that are heavy leads, I think Peter Woods would be one of them. So I don't think they're a package deal, but I could also see. I think it's a very real chance that they do end up together, because I think they're both trending to Alabama.
Okay. Speaking of Peter Woods, speaking with Hank South, 247 Sports, Bama Online Recruiting. Hank, Peter Woods, kind of, he seems to be, to me, kind of a tweener. He's 6'3", 259, not a real big defensive lineman, but an extremely big, outside edge guy. Where do you see him playing at Bama? Does he have a frame? I hadn't seen the kid in person. he's 6'3", 259, but does he have a frame to get up to that 275, 280 and be a D tackle?
Yeah, no, I think he'll end up as a D tackle. I want to say, and we haven't gotten it verified yet, but at Junior Day in January, he texted me. I think he said he checked in at 270, maybe.
Okay.
267.
Okay.
So he's definitely up there. And I do think he has the frame to continue to kind of add bulk and add more there. So I think that's I think that's where he's going to ultimately end up. And that's where Bama's recruiting him too.
All right. Question over on, if you don't mind, flip over to basketball. Another Bama basketball player goes into the portal, and sometimes now you have to look at basketball the same way, Hank, we've looked at football in times past. Is this roster management or not? So with that said, is Nate Oates potentially looking at signing anyone else in this late period, especially the five-star kid, or in some ratings, five-star kid out of Canada?
Yeah. It went from maybe the class being done to it looks like they're not really close to being done. I think the transfer portal has come in heavily into play. We saw the combo guard from Princeton, Jalen Llewellyn. He took what looked like an official visit last weekend or Sunday to I think Tuesday to Alabama. So we're still trying to get some word on how that went. We're going to stand there, but we talked to Brandon Miller and Jaden Bradley this week at the McDonald's game. On Zoom. We didn't go to the game, but Jaden, I think it was Jaden Bradley said that Brandon Miller was saying they talked to Jalen Llewellyn, and it sounds like he was having a good time on his visit, and they were hopefully going to get him. So he's a transfer guy we're watching. I feel like every kid that pops up into the portal is like, oh, Bama's been in contact. But another one, small forward, Jalen Bridges, he put his name in the transfer portal in West Virginia. He's going to take a visit to Bama on April 14th, so he's another guy in the mix. There's a handful of other names. I know the high school prospect you were just mentioning, Leonard Miller, the five-star in some services forward. He put out a top 10 last night. Bama's in it, but that was expected. Still, I'm not sure about his business schedule. He's kind of quiet about the whole thing, but I think there's a chance he'll end up on an official visit to Alabama as well. So that's kind of where we're at. It does look like with the guys leaving, we saw Deshaun Holt into the portal yesterday, joins Ken Ambrose and drawing a blank on Alex Kiku. So 3 guys heading out, plus the guys you're obviously going to lose to graduation and whatnot. But so yeah, it looks like there's some extra spots up for grabs, and it looks like this could be a very new look team come 2022.
Absolutely. That's Hank South 247 Sports Bama Online Recruiting. Hank, tell our listeners where they can find you and what you got going on, man.
Yeah, BamaOnline.com. I think right now there's that promo going for first month for $1. Try it out. Obviously, we're in the middle of spring practice. Lots going on with recruiting. NFL draft coming up. So lots to talk about. And it's a good time to join. My Twitter handle is @HankSouth247.
At Hank South 247, best follow in recruiting. Check him out at Hank South 247. Thanks, Hank. We'll catch up with you next week.
Sure, thanks, guys.
Coming back on the other side, we have the Alabama One Insurance 2-minute warning.
100.9 traffic.
From the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center, a significant amount of storm damage being reported from last night, and of course more will come in with sunrise. So watch out for debris on the roadways this morning, and if you see conditions, just give me a call. This is it, the last day of the month in clearance at Townsend Nissan, where selection and savings go hand in hand. I'm Captain Ray.
Here's what's trending on the Tuscaloosa thread.
Good Thursday morning. Residents are assessing the damage this morning after that intense line of thunderstorms last night spawned numerous embedded tornadoes and wind gusts up to 80 miles per hour across West Alabama. Damage has been reported in several counties, the worst being in Bibb County near Blairsville. The Bibb County EMA reporting a mobile home was overturned there, at least one person trapped inside. There were 2 injuries reported, 1 being sent to hospital. Click TuscaloosaTread.com for more. Don Hartley, Town Square Media, Tuscaloosa.
Hello, this is Martin Houston with the Martin Houston Show, and I want to tell you about Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing. If you're looking for a way to add value to your home, make your flower beds pop, make your landscaping stand out from your neighbors, then Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing can help you do just that. They have numerous styles, but they feature the Moroccan Stone Curb Series, which includes 4 great styles and unlimited color choices. That's Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing. They are the one that can help you stand out from your neighbors. Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing, 205-331-6823. You may also find yourself with the need for a custom size stone or custom shaped stone. Then Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing can help with that as well. Paul Fuller and his team are waiting on your call right now for that free quote. And if you tell them that Martin Houston with the Martin Houston Show told you to stop by, you'll get a big discount. So call Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing at 205-331-6823 or visit them online at Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing LLC.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/offer. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/offer. That's ZipRecruiter.com/offer. ZipRecruiter.com/offer.
Free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
The sound of Bama sports. Your show, your team. The Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
All right, welcome back into the Martin Houston Show, Alabama One Insurance 2-minute warning. Go to alabama1insurance.com where we can help you get a quote on all of your insurance needs, auto, home, life, commercial. If you need it insured, give us a shout. We'll be able to help you out. Your one source for all your insurance needs, where we will review your policies, reduce your premium, and you can relax knowing that you're properly covered. That's Alabama One Insurance, alabama1insurance.com. All right, X, kind of wrapping up the show. A couple quick rapid fire questions. Get your thoughts since you won't be on with us tomorrow and the Final Four coming up. Who you got in the Final Four? I mean, who you got moving on?
Duke and Kansas.
You got Duke and Kansas, and then who you got winning it?
It's going to be a fairy tale story. Coach K goes out on top.
Joe, what about you?
I'm going to go. I like Xavier's initial pick, Duke and Kansas, but Kansas is going to win.
I don't know if you saw Kansas last. If Kansas played the way they played in the second half of their last game, they walk away with it. Oh, man, Jay Wright has been perfect when he got there, so I won't be surprised by the upset. But I feel like Kansas and Duke as well. And by tomorrow, I may change this, but you kind of have that feeling Kansas will be the better team, but somehow Duke plays above their head and wins. But I may change that by tomorrow. Who knows? But that's where I'm at right now. Any takeaways from Pro Day, guys, before that you want to share before we get out of here?
Yeah, just one last thing for my main man, Curtis. Wes Walker ran a 4.65. Nah, but I think Evan Neal solidified himself as a top 5 pick. It really depends on what Jacksonville wants to do when he goes. And I like Christian Harris' fluidity. I think Slade helps himself with the faster 40 and looking clean and crisp through a lot of his other drills, along with Brian Ray showing his athleticism again. And do not be surprised if Brian Robinson is one of the first 3 backs off the board, because he has been blowing it out of the water through this process.
All right. Joe, you got any closing thoughts on Pro Day?
Oh man, it was just great for everybody to be back out there. I think my biggest probably takeaway, Martin, is Evan Neal. When he was asked about the tackle situation, mentioned that he saw J.C. Latham and Kendall Randolph taking the first reps.
Yeah, and so
we'll get into that probably tomorrow.
Yeah, we will. That was a very interesting take, and to me, my takeaway was, as you say, just good to be back out there, see the guys running around. Nick Saban gave us some audio that we'll get to on tomorrow, but good day for Bama sports. Good day for the guys, and I thank all of the guys who gave us some great years over the last few years, and wish them nothing but the best. X, tell us tell our listeners where they can find you when you're not on with me.
Yes, sir. You can find me at X's and O's on Facebook, Twitter, and across all social media platforms.
All right. That's Xavier Houston, X's and O's Sports. I'm Martin Houston. That's Joe Gaither. We thank all the callers, listeners, viewers, chatters, and everyone that makes this happen. Thank you. And remember this, trust in the Lord always. Lean not your own understanding. Always acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. Roll Tide, everybody.
Thank you for listening to the Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9.
Have a great one, Joe.